Hey everyone, it's Robert McPhee, and welcome to this second version of our hangout about being a great dad and also being successful in your career, in your business. And it's been a remarkable ride here over the last month or so as I have really made the commitment to make this particular conversation about being successful in business and also being a really present and involved and committed father a part of not just a part of, but really what I'm zeroing in and focusing my business on. My speaking and my coaching and my consulting is all zeroed in on this area. And it's been really quite profound, the conversation I've been in, not only with men, but with women as well, about the importance of this topic. And this is the second time. Last week we kind of threw the hangout together at the last minute. And this week we haven't really done a whole lot of promotion around it. That's all going to start this coming week. But I do want to make this a regular habit for Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time, to give anyone who's interested the opportunity to jump in, join this conversation, ask any questions that they might have, share their opinion, their perspective on the challenges that men are faced with in terms of being a real success with their business and their career, and also being a great dad. And also, again, want to include women in the conversation as well. A couple of the most profound conversations I've had as I've been sharing this with people have been with women. First of all, women who are saying, well, wait a minute, what about us as moms? We're faced with the same kinds of challenges, which I think is a profound part of the conversation. And also had a really eye-opening conversation last week with a woman who said, hey, wait a minute, I'm a single mom. And as a single mom, I am periodically faced with the challenge of needing to be the dad because there isn't a dad around. I need to be the dad, and sometimes I don't know how to do that. And could you help me with that? Was the request that she made of me, and I said I think I probably could. And she and I have talked a couple of times since, and I do think that from the perspective of someone who really is committed to being a great father. Someone who has been, my kids are a little bit older now. I have a 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And so I have some of the experiences with them being younger and then through the teenage years. And I think, again, it really opened my eyes to the perspective of that woman who is in that situation where she is a single mom. She's tasked with being both a mother and a father. And they really are different roles. There are different roles to be played, and I think again the conversation is open to women and moms just as much as to men and fathers. And last week we talked about just a kind of a brief overview of 4 different areas that seem to be showing up as this topic emerges in terms of ways that it's important to really be focused and be clear in terms of our role as a business person, as a career person, and also as a father. And it's been very interesting to see that those areas to focus on, the way we show up in both of those roles, in order to be successful, in order to be getting the results we want and having the experience we want, it seems to be the case that the characteristics are very much the same. That if we show up in our role as a leader in our business in the same way that we show up in our role as an effective father. If we do that in an effective way on both sides of the equation, we really can have success on both sides. And the 4 areas that we talked about were, first of all, being involved. Second of all, being a visionary. Third, being a role model. And fourth, being a provider, focusing on the numbers and the financial side of this whole conversation, both with our business and in the role of being a father. So being involved, being a visionary, being a role model, and being a provider. And if we're doing all 4 of those things and doing them well as a father and as a business person, things tend to work really well. And in coming weeks, what I see us doing, and I actually am starting a blog that will be in tandem with this hangout, we're going to dive into each of those issues and look at all the different kind of elements within each one. So there'll be kind of 4 different elements across the board, but then we'll go deep on each one. So that's what you can look for in terms of the conversation here, in terms of the topics we'll be putting out. And then the one other thing that I just wanted to be really clear about today in terms of kind of setting the stage for this conversation, I think a lot of people look at this conversation as a time management conversation. A lot of people feel like they're tasked with trying to find enough time to be a great dad and find enough time to be effective and doing well in their business. And from what I've seen in my own life and also in working with my clients is this is a losing battle. There simply isn't more time. That if we're always trying to find enough time to be involved as a father and enough time to do what we need to do at work, there's never enough time for either one, much less both. And the key, in my opinion, and what's worked well for me, and again, what's worked well in my conversations with my clients, both on the business side and the parenting side, and I believe that probably the single most important thing in terms of shifting from the mindset of trying to do both, trying to find enough time for both, is to really focus from quantity of time, like enough time, to quality of time. And the people who I see who are really making it work, the people who I see who have the level of success, who have a successful business, a successful career, things are going well, they're making good money, they're making a really great contribution, they feel good about their work, and they're really involved and present and committed at home to their family, to their children, to their relationship. These are the people who really focus on quality of time. The reality is time, each day we have a finite number of hours available to us, and the degree to which we really focus on quality, focusing on our highest leverage activities at work and delegating or saying no to the other activities, and the degree to which whatever time we do have with our family, that we really focus on making it quality time, turning off the television, getting into conversation, reading, getting out and getting into nature, the activities that we can do that really make a difference in building rapport and building relationship with our families versus chilling out, relaxing, watching the clock tick by and kind of putting in our time as it is. This, to me, again, is the real secret, and we'll be talking a lot about this in the context of our calls. I think it'll be a core principle here that we'll always be looking for ways as a community to support each other in making the time we spend at work and the time we spend with our family really focused on quality versus quantity. So with those two, with kind of setting out the 4 areas of involvement and being a visionary, being a role model and being a provider, and then really zeroing in and focusing on quality time, we've really set the stage for what this conversation is going to be all about. And again, for men who are in business, who have a career that they're really committed to, but they're also really committed to being a great dad, we hope you'll join us. We hope you'll want to be a part of this conversation, and we look forward to hearing your point of view and your opinion, bringing your questions to the conversation. And also for the women out there, another really fascinating topic or question that came up this week was not only about how the same challenges that men are faced with balancing career and being a great dad are the same as the challenges that women are faced with being successful in their career and being a great mom. But there's also the idea of how can women support their men, support their husband or their significant other in showing up in the relationship and in the role of being a father in a way that really works. There's a lot of women out there who may be somewhat frustrated, maybe somewhat disappointed, but they really want to support their man. They want to support their partner in this effort to be really great parents. So there's all sorts of different angles we're going to go, but one of the things I want to make really clear is this is not a boys' club. This is not a conversation that excludes women, and in fact, I believe that as we get deeper and deeper into this conversation, we're going to see that the woman's point of view is just as valuable and important to bring into the conversation as the man's point of view. So in future weeks, we're expecting that we're going to have this be kind of an interactive conversation where we'll have more people joining us. But for this week, we're just going to, again, kind of use that stage setting point of view and put it out there with our 4 topics that you can look for us to zero in on in coming weeks, and really to make it clear that we're going to emphasize not a time management approach, not how to get more time, not kind of tricks and techniques, but really how to zero in and focus on quality of time versus quantity of time. So I'm Robert McPhee. I'll be kind of hosting and moderating, facilitating this conversation. I am thrilled to be a part of it as a business owner myself and a very committed father It's very clear to me that this conversation is near and dear to my heart. I've been very blessed in terms of the work that I've done, writing a book, being the director of training for Jack Canfield's organization for a number of years, being a member of a group called the Transformational Leadership Council, and having applied much of what I've learned from being around some of the great leaders in personal and professional development to my life as a parent. I feel like there's a lot that I can bring to the conversation to support other people who want to be, first of all, successful in their business, again, profitable, making a contribution, having the experience you want to be having while we're at work, but also being a really present, contributing, involved, and committed father as well. And looking at our children and seeing the results show up in terms of young people who are capable, confident, competent, and really reaching their potential, doing what they're here to do, feeling a sense of purpose, and living their lives the way not only we'd like to see them living it, which as a parent is a little bit of a trap we can fall into, but knowing that they're living their lives just the way they want to be living them and having the experience they want to be having. So I hope you'll be joining us on a future Hangout. Again, my name is Robert McPhee. You can find me at the information listed below, and I look forward to having you join us on one of our future Hangouts every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Have a great week, everyone.